A very good evening to you from Anfield. UEFA Champions League football is on the ESPN menu tonight, albeit qualifying action rather than from the group stage itself. But the winners of this tie between Liverpool and Maccabi Haifa will find themselves in the draw for the competition proper when it's made on the 24th of... And the fans apparently responding to the warnings from Rafa Benitez and his players, because they've turned out in large numbers here tonight. Of course, this weekend here in England, it's the Community Shield, and the weekend after that, the Premiership gets underway in earnest, and Liverpool's first opponents will be Sheffield United, who won promotion at the end of last season.
Liverpool on the road, but they'll be expecting to win that one. There's a few interesting ones there. Chelsea against Man City. Spoke to Jose Mourinho. He said that was the only game he was looking at this year. Manchester United against Fulham. We'll see what happens there. And of course, Martin O'Neill back with Aston Villa, and they take on Arsenal that first day. So, as usual, the Premiership has a million stories going for it, Derek.
And a million additional stories will be written, I should imagine, inside the first few weeks of the season. Steven Gerrard getting ready to lead out Liverpool. Is he going to be the England captain? That's the big question. We should know more about that on Friday. And Steve McLaren, who is here tonight, by the way, names his squad for the forthcoming friendly against Greece. Steven Gerrard has competition in the form of John Terry. Last few bars of You'll Never Walk Alone. And out come the two sets of players. Yannick Katan there for Maccabi Haifa, the captain. You might remember him from his time with West Ham United last season. He's actually on loan to Maccabi Haifa from the Hammers. For Liverpool, Jermaine Pennant and Craig Bellamy make their competitive debuts. Rafa Benitez is also pleased to welcome Steve Finnan back from injury, although Fabio Aurelio and Robbie Fowler miss out with calf and knee knocks, respectively.
Finnan, Hupia, Carahan and Reese across the back. Pennant, Xavi, Alonso, Sissoko and Gerrard, and that means that, well, Bellamy basically up front on his own, but Zenden and Sissoko will be trying to get in there. Gerrard will be trying to push in the attack as well.
That's perhaps a minor surprise that Boudewijn Zenden is in there from the beginning. Unusual to have a big European night in the month of August. Now the team news for Maccabi Haifa, coached by Ronnie Levy. He's admitted that preparations for this game haven't been ideal given the situation back in Israel. 10 times the champions of Israel they've been, but there's a strong South American influence within the side. 5 players in all from South America, if you include Roberto Colauti, Argentine-born. But he recently married an Israeli and hopes to play for the national team before too much longer.
4 across the back. They're going to go with, Harazi, Canin, Olara and Magrasvila. And then Colauti and Katan up front. They could trouble this defence. I mean, as you said, Liverpool not going all that well in the friendlies. And sometimes maybe you should pay attention to those friendlies. I don't pay much attention to them. It was just funny there. I was listening to you, and we went from friendlies to charity. When we went from friendlies to charity shields, not much charity in Bellamy, is there?
And Jermaine Pennant, like Craig Bellamy, ready to play in a competitive match for his new club, led by this man, Rafa Benitez. Yannick Katan, who's in the Israel squad for their forthcoming match against Estonia. Actually scored at Old Trafford, not too far from here, against Manchester United in the UEFA Champions League back in 2002. Maccabi Haifa that season became the first Israeli team to qualify for the group stage. And our match referee is Germany's Wolfgang Stark.
It's amazing how the Liverpool officials didn't realise that the stadium was going to be full for a night like this, isn't it? I mean, look at the crowd and listen to them. I mean, they're raring to go.
The players are raring to go too. A little bit later than scheduled. We're underway. It's not lost on Liverpool that they've gone down 1-0 in their last 2 home legs in the 3rd qualifying round of this competition. Graz of Austria prevailed here a couple of years ago, and CSKA Sofia of Bulgaria last year. However, in fairness to Liverpool, the hard work had already been done away from home in each case. Liverpool attacking towards the Kop in this first half, and Steve Finnan to take the throw. All the way back to Nir Davidovic, vastly experienced Maccabi Haifa goalkeeper. First joined the club in 1995, was last year named Israeli Player of the Year.
The pressure, of course, on Liverpool tonight to get a few in the bag. I mean, they need to get a goal or two to get a good advantage and not give up one. That's their main goal, of course.
Steve Finnan, who missed Friday's defeat at the hands of Mainz, the German Bundesliga side, because of injury. A bit of jostling there. Steven Gerrard, Liverpool's captain, courageous.
Well, if I was casting a vote, I think I'd be casting a vote for Benitez as the captain of England. I would like to see Gerrard as the English captain. Nothing against John Terry, but I just think that Steven Gerrard is a very inspirational figure who deserves to be captain of England. Okay, now all the Liverpool fans.
This again is Finnan. Almost showing too much of it to Kolauti. Sami Hyypiä. Forward by John Arne Riise. Pass it away through for Zenden. And the clearance by Pepe Reina. His 2nd season with Liverpool. Of course, he saved 3 penalties in the shootout, the penalty competition in Cardiff, the FA Cup final, the tail end of last season. I mentioned the South American influence within the Maccabi Haifa side. Most of the South American players are in midfield. Most of them are Brazilians. Was floated in that time by Zenden. Chase back for Carragher.
Carragher just cleaning up there, doing the job that he was supposed to do. Get back to the ball, make it easy for his keeper.
Jamie Carragher has been making the case in the build-up to this match that the standard of play in the Champions League is higher than that of the World Cup finals. He feels that there are fewer weak teams in all, and fewer weak players within the teams that some people might regard as weak.
Well, I'd be inclined to agree with him in one department, Derek, and that is that these players spend so much time together that they are much better as a team than most of the teams who play in the World Cup, because in the World Cup you got a lot of good individuals and then maybe not such good teams. I mean, England, certainly a case could be made for that. They have great players but not a great team.
Now here's Jermaine Pennant for Liverpool. Plenty of bodies back for Maccabi Haifa. And the pressure there from the front. Xabi Alonso had just moved a little bit farther forward than usual. Let's see if Maccabi Haifa can hit on the break. Alain Massoudi from the Democratic Republic of Congo. It was a decent run by Massoudi, who was certain he'd been fouled.
I thought he was fouled as well, but Riise did very well to stay with him. Watch this. He tries to push the ball around him, but he's not going to fall for that. And it just looks like, wow, I thought he'd give him a little bit of a dunt. Referee ruled that he was falling at the time. Oh, he give him... What is he giving him?
Well, with almost 5 minutes gone here at Anfield, it is a free kick to Maccabi Haifa.
Well, the foul never occurred out there, I can guarantee you that.
The big players have gone up, including Kainan. Dekel Kainan, the central defender. Took a deflection. And that's a corner. And Catan in position to take it. Rafael Olara, Chilean international defender. Arrived at the start of last season from Universidad Católica. It's pretty useful ghosting in at these set pieces. Catan with it. A little bit of difficulty encountered by the Liverpool defence. Momo Sissoko. The idea was good. Davidovic.
That was a great ball by Sissoko. Just a little bit too strong.
Of course, Liverpool know that they have a new weapon, really, in Bellamy. His pace through the middle. Zenden trying to use pace and trickery out on the flank. Put away by Gustavo, the Brazilian.
Very accomplished play by Gustavo. Didn't panic, just stood to his guns and cleared the ball.
And it's Catan's free kick this time. Sissoko, the culprit.
He's such a destroyer in midfield, isn't he? I mean, I'm not saying that's strictly his role, but he is a destroyer.
Liverpool 0, Maccabi Haifa 0. First leg of this third qualifying round tie. And the whistle of German referee Wolfgang Stark sounding much to the chagrin of Yaniv Catan. Maccabi Haifa have, by the way, until Friday to find a neutral venue to confirm where the second leg will be played. Finnan. Sissoko. And nothing there for Momo Sissoko, with Gustavo pulling out of the challenge.
I think it's a great tribute to them that they're playing at all, Derek, when you consider everything that's going on around them. It's
Bellamy's little touch. And Gerrard involved in the move as well, alongside Craig Bellamy.
A little bit of a wink there for Bellamy. He is a hard grafter, there's no question about that. The only thing is he loses the head a little bit easily.
Here's Finnan, Republic of Ireland international. Alon Harazi is the man who anchors this Maccabi Haifa defence. He's the only Israeli player with 8 championships under his belt, 7 of them with Maccabi Haifa, 1 with Beitar Jerusalem. Now Catan. Sudi's made the run again. And again, Liverpool had 1 or 2 problems in closing him down. Reina was in position to grab hold of it at the end of the move. Finnan. Now Carragher. Here's Riise. Signed, of course, from Monaco 5 years ago in a £4 million deal. One of the heroes of Istanbul.
He certainly was a great signing, wasn't it? I mean, managers love to make a signing like that, especially with the kind of money. And to get the results they got out of him.
It's come again to Jermaine Pennant. It's a tightly packed Maccabi Haifa defence.
You knew that was going to be on the menu tonight. They're not going to give up anything at the back. Maccabi Haifa very well coached. They're holding a very strong line at the back.
That's the Liverpool bench. Jan Kromkamp relegated with Finnan fit once more. And Liverpool trying to carve out a corner. They do.
Well, there was talk that Gonzalez was not going to be on that bench, but he is. Mark Gonzalez for Liverpool. They have a couple of injuries. Fowler and Aurelio are injured.
Here comes the corner then, and a little bit of uncertainty in the Macabi Haifa defence. Finnan now with the throw. Sissoko. Xabi Alonso. Might fancy the shorts. It's Finnan. It's a little bit too strong for Sami Hyypiä, who had remained forward following the corner. Zenden did well. He might want to get the return feed. Very nearly did. That's the bench then for Maccabi Haifa. At the presence there of Abbas Siwan, the 30-year-old Israeli international midfielder. There's one goal at international level to his credit. That came in a game against Northern Ireland. Well, Rees had gone flying forward that time. It was an appeal by Bellamy right at the end there, at the end of the move, perhaps suspecting that it came off the hand of one of the Maccabi Haifa defenders.
Haven't seen a whole lot of Bellamy. They haven't been fit to work him into the system yet, get him involved.
Xabi Alonso. And play on, says referee Wolfgang Stark. "12 minutes gone here at Anfield, and a blank score sheet so far in this first leg." Chase back for Pennant. Summer signing from Birmingham. The flag goes up here, and the Liverpool players, especially captain Gerrard, are livid.
Gerrard with a nice little step over move, but he is offside. I mean, Bellamy is offside, there's no question about it. He came from an offside position to get the ball. That's a good call. Lovely little dummy by Steve Gerrard, but
Jan-Henrik Zalver from Germany is the near side assistant referee. Is there a way through for Liverpool this time? Bellamy had gone drifting out to the left flank. Goal kick.
Well, they were hoping that Pennant would sneak in on that right side, but he was too far back.
Craig Bellamy has been playing with Peter Crouch in the warm-up matches. That partnership passing through a painfully embryonic stage. It does take time for strikers to learn how to play with each other. But no Peter Crouch on the starting 11 this evening. He is on the bench, however.
Zenden is a throwback to the old days, isn't he? I mean, he's a real natural out-and-out left winger. I don't mean his politics, I mean just the way he plays.
Anderson trying to get involved in midfield. Brazilian who was signed recently from Corinthians. It's knocked forward by Gerrard, and no takers. Bellamy was trying to be the man to get there. Gerrard sliding it through, and again the defenders had to be on their toes. Keenan was in there.
Well, Keenan and O'Lara coming under a lot of pressure. That was a lovely attempt by Gerrard to spring Bellamy in behind the last defender.
Xabi Alonso. Neatly out to Pennant. Olara. Once played in Argentina with Independiente. Also had a very brief stint in Spain, playing for Osasuna. Rafael Olara, the Chilean.
Looks suspiciously close to a handball.
Yes, it was brought down by Magrashvili. Haim Magrashvili, the former Hapoel Tel Aviv player. Only sporadic journeys forward by Maccabi Haifa so far, and the offside flag has gone up against Masoudi.
Well, Masoudi here just makes the move at the wrong moment. Looked like he had it timed properly. He took that one step too many. I think Liverpool knew they were going to have a game on their hands here, Derek. I mean, certainly, as you said, they're not going to give... Maccabi Haifa's not going to give much away by going forward. That was a pretty nasty challenge. The destroyer is at it again.
That's what he does, Sissoko.
Watch him just walk in here.
Fouling Gustavo Boccoli, to give him his full name, the 28-year-old Brazilian. We've seen already evidence that Maccabi Haifa can be menacing at set pieces. How about this one? Well, that's the answer. The offside flag was up in any case. Well, you mentioned, Tommy, that the Liverpool players were expecting a hard game. Rafa Benitez, for his part, remembers facing Maccabi Haifa and drawing 0-0 at home with them when he was the Valencia manager back in 2003. They did go on to win 4-0 away from home in the return. That was in the UEFA Cup. Not likely to be pushovers. Pennant. Sissoko. Xabi Alonso for Liverpool. And Reece can crack them from that sort of distance. Very much his trademark.
Just when he bounces in, gets a pretty good rip at it too. You can see him coming up on that left foot. Takes a wicked bounce in front of the keeper. Just a little bit off the target. He loves that situation, doesn't he? But I think if you wanted a barometer how impressive Israeli football has become, Derek, all you had to do is look at the way Israel performed in the World Cup qualifiers in that group that ended up with a team going to the final of the World Cup, France.
There's Bellamy for Liverpool. Tried the little back flick, it didn't quite come off. Challenged by Zenden on Masoudi. And that quickly taken through. Zenden again. Diminutive figure, the Dutchman on the Liverpool left. No free kick given, despite the protestations there from Masoudi. Steve Finnan for Liverpool. Steven Gerrard. Great ball it was. And it missed Craig Bellamy by a whisker.
Yeah, it looked like the two Liverpool players initially were going to tackle one another, and then Steven Gerrard stepped in to take control, and he just slaps this one through the box. It bounces on the 6-yard box. That's a very dangerous ball. The keeper's halfway out, halfway in, and Bellamy just unable to get to it. But once again, Gerrard with a lovely ball through the middle.
I think it'd be a very popular choice were he to be named the New England captain. Bellamy felled in a position of some danger to the Maccabi Haifa goal.
Bellamy playing for his foul and getting it.
Davidovic trying to ensure that all the angles are covered perfectly. Pennant and Gerrard and Zenden. And it's Gerrard as they try to use something that they've been working, no doubt, on the training ground. Here's the shot that comes in the end from Carragher. And it wasn't a bad effort at all. Davidovic hanging on to it.
Yeah, good play by Liverpool. It looked like they had messed up the free kick opportunity, Derek, and then they do come up with a good shot from Carragher.
I can tell you that extra police were drafted in tonight to ensure that the demonstrations outside the ground didn't ruin what is, after all, just a football match. I can tell you there were several hundred anti-Israel demonstrators in evidence outside Anfield this evening. Steve McLaren watching from the main stand, and John Toshak just off to his left. There is Steve McLaren.
Making notes.
The New England boss, and he paid the Liverpool players a visit at the Melwood training ground the other day. Plans to do that with most of the top English clubs this season. That was always going to be Rayner's ball. Now Pennant. And Gerrard with urgency as ever. Bellamy. And away by Olara for Maccabi Haifa. No free kick forthcoming. Colauti wanted it. Roberto Colauti, who's struggled to get into the game so far. Argentinian born, but now a provisional Israeli citizen, having married an Israeli. And it comes from Sissoko. Bolo Zenden. Just nicked away by the left back, Magrashvili.
That back four is just standing tight. They're really not raiding at all. They're staying at home and just waiting on the ball to come in and belt it out of there. Nothing fancy, nothing elaborate about it. Just get a boot onto it, break up any situation that Liverpool may present. Just don't give up the goal.
Maccabi Haifa, who finished 16 points clear of the runners-up last season, Hapoel Tel Aviv. Maccabi Haifa did get to the quarter-finals of the old Cup Winners' Cup in the late 90s. 10 times champions of Israel. Nicknamed the Greens. They're up against the Reds tonight. One of the most famous venues in football. Pennant trying to draw it back. And a little bit of a close shave that time for Maccabi Haifa. Bellamy was waiting in the middle.
But I think you're seeing...
We're watching Gerrard at the moment, and Pennant now coming into the move for Liverpool as they try to increase the tempo.
But I think they're seeing the price you pay when you only use one striker, Derek, where you have somebody trying to come in late. I mean, that ball has bounced around the 6-yard box, and if Bellamy doesn't get to it, well, there's nobody else available for it. And it has gone in there a number of times, and Bellamy hasn't been able to get to it, so good chances have just gone a-begging.
Forward by Sami Hupia for Liverpool. Well, Reece prepared to fling himself at it. There is Ronnie Levy, former midfield player and a member of the Maccabi Haifa side in the 93-94 season that went the entire season in the championship without tasting defeat.
Well, it would be a huge, huge day for them if they could get a good result against Liverpool, if they could qualify for the next phase of the Champions League. Might present a few problems in terms of scheduling games down the road, but it would be a huge boost for Maccabi Haifa.
As UEFA have said, no European matches in Israel until further notice. The Israeli FA did appeal to the Court of Arbitration for Sport in Switzerland, but that appeal was denied. Here's Bennett. Limerick-born Steve Finnan.
Started out as a hurler, actually, rather than a football player.
Sissoko for Liverpool. Risa. Gerrard. Risa wanted it back. Now Zenden was away by Keenan.
And Liverpool are helping out Maccabi Haifa because they're really not sending their two backs up. I mean, Risa and Finnan are being very conservative in the amount of times they have actually moved up the field, because obviously Liverpool don't want to give that road goal away.
Nothing there for Jermaine Pennant.
He has plenty of movement, but he hasn't really looked dangerous yet, has he?
The throw-in conceded again. That time by Dirceu, Xavier Dirceu, a deep-lying Brazilian midfielder for Maccabi Haifa. I must say I've liked the look of Masoudi going forward. And proving to be a handful again, this time for Xabi Alonso. Now, was that handball against Magrashvili? Apparently not. If it did strike the arm, then it was accidental in the opinion of Wolfgang Stark, the referee from Germany.
And he had a good view of it, and he was very adamant about it. So you have to go along with him in this situation.
And that looked a bit soft as far as the fans were concerned. Xavier Dirceu, the recipient of the free kick decision that's gone against Jermaine Pennant.
Pennant just caught him from the back.
And that will be a free kick. Zenden on the wrong end, as the challenge came in from Anderson.
Zenden making a journey across into the middle here.
Maccabi Haifa didn't get to this stage of the competition last season, lost to Malmö of Sweden in the second qualifying round. Now positioned here to counter-attack, and dangerously, what a chance it is, and it's been taken by Gustavo Boccoli, the Brazilian. Liverpool falling asleep. And with 16 minutes to go to half-time, Maccabi Haifa have themselves a dream away goal at Anfield.
Oh, did he take it well? I mean, there was still a lot of work to do when Gustavo got the ball. And when he works his way into the box, as you said, the Liverpool defenders were asleep. Look at that running. He started it. Little deke on the ball, and then he buries it. Great running off the ball, and when he goes through, I mean, Risa let him go through, and he made no mistake. And what a priceless goal that is for them. That's absolutely brilliantly taken.
Well, there is confirmation. Maccabi Haifa, the champions of Israel, brimming with confidence here at one of the most storied venues in world football. Finnan for Liverpool. That must surely serve as something of an alarm call.
Well, if there's one team that can answer those alarm calls, well, it is Liverpool. We've seen them a number of times over the last 5 years go down, go behind in big games, and come storming back to get wins.
Here's Momo Sissoko. It's a bit too obvious. They can play their way out of trouble quite clearly, Maccabi Haifa. Gustavo Boccoli, to give him his full name, the man who scored the goal. He's picked up just a little bit of a knock here by the look of things. He's clutching onto that right ankle.
You can certainly see the South American influence. They look very comfortable on the ball. They're not afraid to move it around. Xavi Alonso giving it up there.
Magrashvili. Now Xavier Dirceu. The front players for the visitors have been fairly anonymous so far, Kolauti and Katan. The ball comes off referee Wolfgang Stark. And to the benefit of Maccabi Haifa in the end, but Sissoko digging in, now Pennant. Flashy young player, and cut down Xavier Dirceu.
That should be a yellow card.
Well, certainly not his first indiscretion, and he's on his last warning. One more like that and it will be a yellow card.
Oh, that's a yellow card. He doesn't, there's no warning involved there. That should be a yellow card right there.
Finnan for Liverpool, trailing by a goal to nil. This Champions League third qualifying round, first leg. Boudewijn Zenden. And they're all sticking to their task. The Maccabi Haifa players. Mazoudi going back there to buttress the defence when necessary. Zenden. Xavi Alonso. 12.5 minutes remaining in the first half. Pennant trying to get the better of Magrashvili. He's done well here. And it's Momo Sissoko and Davidovic and Bellamy. Craig Bellamy scores in his competitive debut for Liverpool. Well, relief here at Anfield more than anything else. The main thing for Rafa Benitez is that they have responded through Bellamy just 4 minutes after Gustavo Boccoli had given Maccabi Haifa the lead.
Like I said, if there's any team that can come back, they can come back. Sissoko comes up with the shot. Really good save here. It was a nice ball played back to him by Gerrard, and then Bellamy does what he's supposed to do. That's a well-taken goal. Didn't panic, give himself plenty of time, and he bulges the old onion bag. Benitez said, that's what I bought you for, son. That's what you're supposed to do. A good goal, an important goal.
Almost had the look of a professor there, Rafa Benitez, didn't he? Very dispassionate about the goal scored by Bellamy, but here come Maccabi Haifa again. The offside flag was up as Kolauti made the run into the centre. But Liverpool have been warned that they're playing a bit of a dangerous game at the back, and Maccabi Haifa can exploit that and at pace.
He's offside. That's one thing that's very noticeable here with Maccabi Haifa. They have brilliant pace on the ball as well as pace off the ball. And I mean, the only player that really has showed pace for Liverpool out there has been Pennant. He's played very well with that kind of speed that he is showing out on the wing. Bellamy took his goal well, Derek. That was the situation where you would see a lot of players put that ball up into the stand, but he did the job, held his head and put it away. He's a good, clean finisher.
One apiece here. Riese and Zenden directing the traffic at this free kick. It's surely an inviting angle for John Arne Riise. Immediately charged down, however.
You know, we talked about it 2 years ago, at least I did. You know, the centre of that defence, Hyypiä, it just doesn't have any speed. And I mean, they're just flicking the ball down through the middle and hoping that they can run by him. And that's basically where the goal came from. I'm a little bit surprised that Benitez, even last year, he said that he was going to look for a central defender because of the fact that Hyypiä doesn't have the speed anymore, and he never came up with one, and he still hasn't come up with one this year.
Well, the only player who might fall in that category would be Daniel Agger, the Dane, the 21-year-old Dane, who they signed during the winter. Made just 4 appearances for the first team, having joined from Brøndby. He's actually out at the moment with an ankle problem, but I'd rather have a feeling you might see quite a bit of Agger as the season progresses.
The problem is, like, could you expect to win a Champions League with a central defender that's 21 years of age and doesn't have a whole lot of experience? I don't know.
Well, if you have a view on that, or any subject relating to Liverpool, you know what to do. You can contact us via ESPN SoccerNet Press Pass. That's through the website espnsoccernet.com, and look for the Press Pass link. We are back with a new season of ESPN SoccerNet Press Pass beginning on Friday or Saturday, depending upon where you're watching. And of course, we always enjoy hearing from you.
When you got to that, you know what you can do. I was afraid you were going to get nasty to the Liverpool fans.
No, I was being perfectly nice.
Okay. This referee's been a little bit pernickety over a couple of yards and throws and free kicks. And
he's an up-and-coming referee in Germany, Wolfgang Stark. So Markus Merck has said that that's it for him. He was unhappy with the way he was treated at the World Cup finals. Markus Merck, the foremost German referee of recent times. And Finnan making the run on that right-hand side, but it's a goal kick. Craig Bellamy, the scorer of the Liverpool equaliser.
There's the shot coming in, and a really good save, and the keeper was a little bit unlucky. Davidovic was just unlucky that he parried it out exactly to where Bellamy was standing. And even more unlucky that Bellamy just held his head and rocketed it up into the top of the net.
Bellamy looking immediately for Peter Crouch, who's on the bench. Now Sissoko for Liverpool. Here's Pennant, playing with more confidence now. And Harazi was caught in 2 minds. Zenden out of play, and it crossed the touchline on the far side.
Didn't look like it did. I'm kind of in Zenden's corner, but maybe on replay it'll show that it did, but it didn't look to me like all of the ball was over all of the line. Sissoko is just such a strong player in midfield. I mean, I talk about him being a destroyer, but I said he does other things as well, and you saw him take that shot which eventually resulted in the goal.
And I think we all thought his career might be in jeopardy after that horrendous eye injury he suffered in the Champions League match against Benfica last season.
Made a great recovery, didn't he? And a speedy recovery at that.
There were those who feared that he might not see out of that eye again. Now, this is promising from the Liverpool point of view. Zenden did well initially. This is Pennant. Jermaine Pennant with that right foot, just a little bit too much on it. Sissoko. Masudi was there. Gustavo Boccoli. And play on. Here they come again, Liverpool. The shot was charged down. They are noticeably upping the tempo here whenever possible, the home side. And that's one that Magrashvili is surely not going to get away with. It's a yellow card for Haim Magrashvili. First booking handed out by Wolfgang Stark this evening.
Well, he comes in very late here on Finnan.
Actually, looking at that again, Magrashvili and Katan went in for it together, but the referee did make his way immediately over to Magrashvili, and he's the man who's been cautioned.
Yeah, I think maybe he got the wrong man.
Inside the final 5 minutes of what's been an interesting first half here at Anfield. It's Liverpool 1, Maccabi Haifa 1. That also important away goal for Maccabi Haifa coming from Gustavo Boccoli. But Liverpool responding through Craig Bellamy. This is competitive debut. No free kick forthcoming on that occasion. Now Kolauti. Foul by Sissoko. That's catching Gustavo Boccoli.
Well, Maccabi Haifa look very dangerous going down the middle. They can do damage. Liverpool have to be very, very careful.
Covers an awful lot of ground in the course of an average match. Gustavo Boccoli, very fit player. Header by Finnan, now Sissoko, and again.
And he still didn't get it right. He did now.
Now, is it going to open up for Liverpool here? Bellamy, so good at getting in behind defences with his pace. Craig Bellamy. And he's forever appealing for handball.
Yeah, it's one of the things of Bellamy's game that he probably should change around a little bit. He's forever trying to be a referee. He's forever appealing to referees and officials about what just happened.
We ran through a few of the other Champions League third qualifying round first leg scores at the top of our broadcast tonight. Just to give you one score that for me is perhaps the most intriguing of them all so far. Levski Sofia 2, Chievo of Italy 0. That's a full-time score. Get back to that in a second. Masoudi. Oh, he's managed to beat Zenden. Trying to take on Risa as well. He's quite the ball player, Alan Masoudi. That's another corner to Maccabi Haifa.
He certainly will work you, Derek. I mean, that was a great bit of skill there.
But just to repeat, Levski Sofia, Bulgaria 2, Chievo of Italy Serie A 0. Domovchitsky and Bardon with the goals for Levski. They're in a fine position now. No, that didn't work out at all from the Maccabi Haifa point of view. Davidovic, who was able to take the weight off the initial shot, just thinking back to that equalising goal, but couldn't prevent Bellamy giving Liverpool the equaliser. Now this is encouraging again. It's Kolauti. It was never really on, was it, from that sort of range?
No, when he had Matsudi wide open on that right wing. He was cutting in on his own had he played the ball into the space on the 18-yard box. But it was lovely movement by Maccabi Haifa. Good movement on the ball, and they controlled it very well, causing a few problems for Liverpool.
That's when they can use pace in that sort of position around the point to midway inside the Liverpool half. That's when I think they mean business, and that's when Liverpool just have that nervous look about them when the ball gets moved very quickly between Kolauti and Masoudi and Katan and Gustavo. Of course, let's not forget it is Liverpool's first competitive match of the season. Then again, it's early in the campaign too for Maccabi Haifa.
And you don't want to be looking at a 1-1 game like this if you're Liverpool, especially you don't know where you're going next to play.
I'm not sure, Tommy, if you were in the shoes of the Maccabi president. Get back to that in a second as it's played in. And Bennett's header It's away by Kainan. And it's half-time here. We'll discuss what Yakov Shahar, the president of Maccabi Haifa, will do in due course as regards the second leg. But it's 1-1 here. Gustavo Boccoli scoring for Maccabi Haifa. It was a very well taken goal, but a bad one for Liverpool to concede. However, just 4 minutes later, on 33 minutes, Craig Bellamy, in his first competitive match for his new club, managing to slot home after the Sissoko shot had been beaten down by Nir Davidovic. Everything to play for at Anfield. It's Liverpool 1, Maccabi Haifa 1. Welcome back then to Anfield on this Wednesday night. And it's Liverpool 1, Maccabi Haifa 1. The Champions League third qualifying round, first leg. And Tommy Smith, Maccabi Haifa have proved that they can play a bit.
Yeah, they certainly have, but Liverpool came up with a few good opportunities. Risa coming up on that outside hasn't come up all that often in the first half, but he came up, he had a clear shot there, he bounced it by the keeper, didn't hit the target, and then a couple of minutes later, on the opposite side, I suppose you could say the same about Finnan and Carragher not coming up too much. That time Carragher comes up with the shot, the keeper covers it up nicely. But then Gustavo, watch his run down the middle here, and he glides right by and he slots the ball home. You just can't let him go like that. We used to let him go, and he slid on into that spot that should be covered by Hupia, but Hupia wasn't there, and Gustavo just slips it in. Beautiful running. And a great finish here. A little bit of a deke to take the keeper out of it. Look at this little bit of a touch. That was a great goal. And certainly on the opposite side, it was a very good goal as well. Sissoko coming up with a shot from just outside of the box. The keeper parries it. And Bellamy nips in, and from a very tight angle. I know the net was empty, but it's a tight angle nevertheless. A lot of players put this one up over the top. He's just about the edge of the 6-yard box. He takes it very well off the inside of his foot. Good shot by Sissoko. The keeper was a little bit unfortunate that he doesn't clear it out further. And Benitez, no reaction.
So 1-1 the half-time score. Just the one yellow card to tell you about. That's gone to Haim Magrashvili. Maccabi Haifa, though, with the away goal, and as we've been telling you, the second leg on Tuesday week, that's when it's scheduled for, will be played at a neutral venue, yet to be determined, but quite possibly Kiev in Ukraine. Well, there's the chance it might go to Cyprus. That's something that the president of Maccabi Haifa, Yakov Shahar, will have to decide upon. Well, it should be a mouth-watering second half. Liverpool 1, Maccabi Haifa 1 in this UEFA Champions League. Anfield, the venue on this Wednesday night for UEFA Champions League third qualifying round action. This first leg at the end of 45 minutes, standing at 1 apiece. Liverpool 1, Maccabi Haifa 1. Nice to have you with us, wherever you're watching around the world, here on ESPN. The players about to drift back out onto the park. Gives us a chance to remind you that our panel discussion programs are back in business this weekend. If you're watching in Latin America, it's Fuera de Juego. If you're in the English-speaking world, then you can join us for ESPN SoccerNet Press Pass. Janusz Mihalik will join Tommy and yours truly. That's our twice-weekly discussion forum. And I can tell you on the agenda this week, one of the things on the agenda is this match.
Certainly going to have a look at it, and we will have news, of course, probably by that time as to who the English captain might be. It might be announced by the time we go on air. Well, we bring you lots of good things, and I had a little chat with a guy you might want to listen to for a while, Mr. Mourinho. Very interesting character, something like yourself, Derek.
You flatter me.
I'm not sure I flatter you or him, but one of you is getting flattered anyhow.
Yes, Tommy's interview with Jose Mourinho will be coming up on the Friday programme. That'll be Saturday, of course, for some of you. Just before we get the second half underway, let me tell you, Hearts, north of the border, have taken the lead against AEK Athens. A goal there by Saulius Miliunas, but They're down to 10 men. Bruno Aguiar has been sent off. They've got about a quarter of an hour remaining. And here's another interesting scoreline. Salzburg 1, Valencia 0. And there's a quarter of an hour remaining in Austria 2. So Valencia and Liverpool would certainly fall in the category of big guns in the third qualifying round. And by no means having things all their own way. It's Maccabi Haifa, clad in green, attacking the goal to our right in the second half.
Good news for Ajax fans, because Huntler has scored another one, so they're in front 2-1 and they're playing away from home.
As always, we'll keep you posted on what's happening elsewhere as we move along here at Anfield. Sami Hyypiä. Difficult one for Pennant to reach. Was sliced away by Olara, the Chilean.
He's done well so far. He's been under a bit of pressure, but he's responded well to it. That was very late.
And Xavi Alonso was squaring up there to Gustavo Boccoli. This was the incident.
Very late. He just walked into him and then he hit him again a little after outside.
He's trying to keep a firm grip on the reins here, Wolfgang Stark, match referee. In comes the Liverpool free kick. It was too high really for Sami Hyypiä. Always a threat at set pieces. The strength in the air. The breeze has started to kick up here at Anfield. Now Colauti in the middle. Colauti was the man who just very deftly prodded the ball into the path of Gustavo Boccoli for the Brazilian to run forward and score. And here he is again, Colauti. That's a corner.
Acknowledges the nice pass, left them room to run onto it, and then he did exactly what he should do. He couldn't get the ball across. He attempted to get it across, wins himself a corner instead.
He's awaiting confirmation of citizenship, Colauti, but Israel do hope to have him in their squad for the forthcoming match against Estonia. Naturalised Israeli citizen. It's Katan's corner. It's Katan with his left foot this time. High hanging ball. Now can Maccabi Haifa find a way through here? Carragher to the rescue for Liverpool. Hyypiä getting his head to it. Now Pennant. There's a superb angled ball. Gerrard. Now Zenden just drifted out of the game towards the end of the first half. Boudewijn Zenden.
Had all the time in the world when Gerrard played it across to him. Probably needed a little bit more pace so that he could have done anything with it. It was a kind of, everything was in slow motion at this stage. I thought he might have just pulled on the ball. Instead he takes it down, he smacks it wide.
Peter Crouch lumbering up. There is Ronnie Levy, the Maccabi Haifa manager. Sure, he was bitterly disappointed to see that Liverpool equaliser go in so soon after the initial strike from Gustavo Boccoli.
I would say, but if you give him a 1-1 draw before this thing was started, he would have snatched it. He would have been in great shape if he felt that he could get out of here 1-1.
And it's a long way from being finished, this first leg. Away by Rafael Olara for Maccabi Haifa.
Well, you're not going to beat Hyypiä in the air, that's for sure. The one place that he's dominant is in the air.
In the pre-season, Liverpool have looked leaden-footed, lacking spark, energy and creativity. And I must say, at times they were guilty of that in the first half here too. But the goal by Bellamy has given everyone a massive boost, and this is Jermaine Pennant being watched by Magrashvili. Finnan was following up, and it came off Katan. Pennant. Oh, was that a foul on the very edge of the penalty area? Steven Gerrard going down. The referee wasn't interested in the appeals.
It looked like he was fouled.
Now Masoudi wanted the return ball. He's a very clever player. He was bundled by John Arnerisa.
A bundle on one side is a foul, a bundle on the opposite side doesn't seem to be.
I mentioned earlier on that to Hamburg-Osasuna match, and that might be one of the games of the night. Perhaps it was. Those who were there will be able to tell us later, but it's almost finished, and it's at 0-0 now in stoppage time. It's a risky ball, but it was grabbed hold of by goalkeeper Reina in the end. This is Craig Bellamy. Finnan with a cross. And the defenders had to look lively. Masoudi, very composed. No chances taken by Harazi. Seven minutes into the second half. Liverpool being held here by Maccabi Haifa. Not for the first time, loud appeals for handball. They always seem to be appeals against Magrashvili, the left-back, you know.
That was definitely a handball. No question in my mind about it. He handled that.
He's gone forward here in support of Gustavo Boccoli, who went to ground in a cumbersome fashion. He wanted the free kick. It wasn't forthcoming. Gerrard now with a poor touch.
Gerrard was moving before he controlled the ball and just give it away.
Xabi Alonso, Momo Sissoko. Jermaine Pennant for Liverpool. A slight misunderstanding there between Magrashvili and Gustavo Boccoli, and Luis Garcia is getting his last-minute instructions here from Paco Ayestaran, who's the assistant manager to Rafa Benitez. Like Tommy Ponder, who might depart, and that Garcia is about to come on. You would think, wouldn't you, one of the central midfield players. And it's Steven Gerrard this time throwing himself at the ball. Do they need both Xabi Alonso and Momo Sissoko back there, I wonder?
I just can't see him taking off Sissoko. The way he's played and the kind of strength that he adds to it. I'm not sure, maybe Zenden, and he might just reconfigure the attack a little bit.
I think there's every chance it might be Boudewijn Zenden, who has flitted in and out of the game, but nothing terribly sustained from the Dutchman.
First 15 minutes he looked like he was going to set the place on fire, but after that, not a whole lot.
Zenden this time. Now Bellamy. Masoudi, who's playing ever deeper now. It's almost become an extra right back, Alain Masoudi.
You probably know that they talked about it at half-time and said, hey, if we can get out of here with a 1-1 draw, we'll have a job well done, and that's the reason why they're playing so deep. Hey, maybe I can qualify as a manager. Maybe I do know something about this game, contrary to the emails I get.
That's it. Well done, Tommy. Bodo Zenden makes way for Luis Garcia. Garcia, who of course has had a busy summer, having represented Spain at the World Cup finals.
Another mission impossible for Spain, wasn't it?
I say I was sad to see them bow out when they did. I thought they were amongst the more attractive sides that we saw in Germany.
Well, they certainly played very nice attacking football and building from the back. It was Baraja. I thought he played very well. I just wonder, will Fernando Torres still stay in Spain? It looks like he's going to. And there were a lot of rumours that he wouldn't be there.
I'll give you a little update from around some of the other grounds in a second. Offside flag has gone up, and it does get a little bit annoying watching Bellamy, and you and I have watched him for a number of years now, with Newcastle, with Celtic, with Blackburn. Is that he's always whinging about something, you know.
Yeah, he's always whinging about the calls.
And let's take nothing away from Craig Bellamy. He's a fabulous player. He's got terrific pace. He's got poise on the ball. He's got quick feet. That long throw by Risa. That very nearly found Bellamy.
Yeah, it's an asset we haven't seen used that much today. I mean, we know that Risa is very capable of dumping them a long way, and that's exactly what he does here in behind the defence. And just Bellamy couldn't get a touch onto it. I mean, we've seen Liverpool use that as a good attacking weapon in the past.
Right, as promised, some of the other scores for you. This is a full-time score now from Copenhagen. It's finished FC Copenhagen 1, Ajax 2. Klaas-Jan Huntelaar with a late winner there, 6 minutes from time. Hamburg 0, Osasuna 0 is a final score. Standard Liège 2, Steaua Bucharest 2 a final score. Marine with the equaliser there, 12 minutes from time. It's Hearts 1, AEK Athens 0 in the dying embers of that game. Saulias Mikoliunas scoring for Hearts, but Aguiar sent off. 1-0 I think would be a good result for the SPL side. It's Red Bull Salzburg 1, Valencia 0. Pitak scoring for Salzburg near the end of that game. Salzburg, who are managed these days by former German international Lothar Matthäus.
Your best friend.
Absolutely. Next to you. Now in comes the cross this time. Davidovic looking a trifle uncertain.
Oh, he's lucky to get away with that one, Derek. I'm not sure why he punched that ball. He probably asking the same question at this stage. He should have grabbed it. Here you're going to see this high ball lofted in. Watch him come out in the clear. That's a ball you're supposed to grab.
11 years with the first team near Davidovic.
A couple of results that I'm really looking at today. Saudi Arabia 1-0 over Bahrain, and Japan 2-0 over Trinidad and Tobago. I'm not sure why they're playing a friendly. And then of course Jordan 2 and Iraq 2. I have a real worldly view of this game, Derek.
Yes, you were telling me before we were on the air tonight that you were awfully interested in that Jordan-Iraq match, and I can see that's still the case now at full time there.
2-2. Well, those are teams now that Australia are going to have to start looking towards, because they're going to have to play in that cup, and you know, they're going to have a tough time of it, because they're not going to be on international days, and I mean, they're going to end up with mostly Australian players playing it. So I'm sure there's a lot of people down under looking at those games.
Yes, Australia, of course, with a forthcoming meeting with Kuwait, qualifying for the Asian Cup. Pennant that time steering it out to the right. He might get the return ball. And Davidovic, this time he can take it cleanly, and he's stretched to get there. He's in a little bit of pain near Davidovic.
Oh yeah, and The crowd doesn't like this, but he gets hit by... It looks like he got hit by his own man as he came across there. He actually made contact with his own player, Anderson, coming through in the box, caught him, and he held on to the ball for a long time. That's a dangerous thing to do.
Ronnie Levy looks on. We've reached the hour mark and still it's 1-1. Now as Macabi Haifa through Anderson, tried to boss the game in midfield. There's Harazi with the deep cross. And the header comes in. It wasn't all that far away. And that was a chance. Quaifier inside the area.
That was...
He knows it was there.
Those fans know it too. And if you can believe it, he gets the header. He gets inside of Finn, and Finn doesn't even rise with him. And this ball is almost in the back of the net. Would you believe the bookmakers in England had been offering 25-1 about Maccabi Haifa winning this one in play?
Well, here comes the corner. And it's as you were, Luis Garcia doing the defending. Gustavo Boccoli once more. Trying to swing that one away, and another free header. And the Sissoko getting it out of the danger area. And relief for Liverpool, as finally it goes wide off the boot of Xavier Dirceu. Good little spell for Maccabi Haifa.
The alarming thing for Liverpool was that he was wide open even when that ball did come out to him. The defenders didn't get out quick enough.
5 times the club champions of Europe. But Liverpool making heavy weather of this. Now Jermaine Pennant, stretching challenge. He's been penalised for it, going in on the left-back Haim Magrashvili.
He did just catch Magrashvili as he comes forward.
Maccabi Haifa didn't win the Israeli League Championship until 1984. They date all the way back to 1913.
They've made a habit of winning it since, haven't they?
And for Benitez, he's about to bring on Peter Crouch by the look of things. See if he can prove to be a gangly handful.
Well, we know that he's gangly and he proved to be a handful. I think he should. The question is, who do you take off now, Xavi Alonso or Pennant?
This is the aforementioned Jermaine Pennant.
We just can't see him taking Bellamy off. Maybe he will.
The Welshman with 2 defenders onto him quickly, and Craig Bellamy has succeeded in winning the throw. Now Sissoko. Xavi Alonso. Hooked forward there by Kenan, the central defender. Gustavo Boccoli, and the wrong end of the challenge from Momo Sissoko, combative player.
Should be a card.
And the referee not standing for any nonsense from Momo Sissoko. There's the yellow card.
Yeah, he's had a number of opportunities today where he has nailed somebody and gotten away with it. And one of the things that has caused all kinds of problems for Liverpool today has been the pace of Maccabi Haifa on the movement of the ball. I mean, they have played the ball very, very quickly, and he's in very cumbersome. You can't have too many complaints about the way you take a player down. It's that kind of a situation that you get yourself a yellow card.
So we look at Peter Crouch. Bad news for Hearts fans. I can tell you that AEK Athens have equalised in the last minute at Murrayfield. Capitanos with a header, beating Craig Gordon. So it's advantage AEK now. Looking ahead to the return meeting in Greece. And it will be striker for striker, certainly not like for like. Craig Bellamy departs, Bellamy having scored the equaliser back on 33 minutes. Here it was, the shot from Sissoko that was parried by Davidovic. Bellamy did the rest. And on comes Peter Crouch.
I'm a little bit surprised that he's taken Bellamy off at this stage. Obviously, he doesn't want to go with the two-striker attack, so he's going to bring in Crouch and let him go on his own. Whether it'll change their view on how to play the ball into the box or not, it certainly gives them a much bigger target.
Now we saw Gustavo Boccoli go down there under the challenge from Momo Sissoko, and Ronnie Levy knows full well that he's been a massive player for Maccabi Haifa tonight. Scored the goal for one thing, but aside from that, his contribution has been gargantuan in midfield. This was what happened to Gustavo Boccoli, the challenge by Sissoko.
Yeah, he can't have any excuse. Sissoko, that is.
Stretched it off, but quickly back up on his feet, and they're a bit sceptical about that.
It's becoming a joke, this. It's really becoming
Liverpool
a joke.
fans. Now, from a Scottish point of view, terrible news from Murrayfield. It's now 2-1 to AEK Athens. They've turned that match on its head. An own goal by Christophe Berra in stoppage time. So Hearts are looking good at 1-0. And they've conceded 2. And with little chance, you would think, now of progressing to the group stage for the first time. And Liverpool at the moment have their work cut out for them. Gustavo Boccoli is back with us. And well, this is the problem nowadays, and we saw this at the World Cup time and again. It's very hard to tell who's cheating and who's not.
Well, there's a very magical cure in whatever they put on that white line, because it seems like when players cross that white line, all of a sudden they're ready. I mean, Buckley jumped up after he got off the stretcher, and then as soon as he jumped up, he was limping again when he heard the crowd's reaction to him. It's something that the authorities are going to have to do something about. It's something that needs addressing.
I just don't know what we can do, Tommy. Here's Pennant. Oh, that was a useful ball. Luis Garcia was in there. But Davidovic has custody of it, and it's still 1-1 with 67 minutes on the clock.
Pennant does a really nice job of getting this ball across. Luis Garcia, well, there was a defender with him, took a little bit of a touch, made it easy for the keeper. That defence, that back line has stood firm.
Kick-off here was delayed by about 10 minutes. We didn't start until just after 8:15 because of a late arriving Anfield crowd. Risa for Liverpool. Pennant wanted it. Sent it away by Magrashvili. Pennant again loops it in. Got down superbly by Gerrard. Crouch is in there. Didn't really have time to get the shot in, Peter Crouch. Gerrard was the architect of that move, really.
Well, the high ball in missed Crouch, and it ended up on the foot of Gerrard, and still Crouch ended up with an opportunity.
It's Pennant again. So much has gone through Jermaine Pennant this evening. Away by Harazi.
And they've gone to an all-out attack aerial. And the high balls are just lobbing in there now, hoping that Crouch can get onto one.
Gustavo Boccoli went in there on Sissoko. It's a little bit clumsy looking. And it's been resolved in favour of Liverpool, but temper's getting a bit frayed. Catan and Xabi Alonso in there together.
Well, I don't think you could call anybody here. A little bit of a sandwich there, Luis Garcia.
Hearts 1, AEK Athens 2 is a full-time score now. As is Salzburg 1, Valencia 0. In the Champions League third qualifying round, that is, first legs. And Steven Gerrard trying to put the wind up Masudi.
Not a very clever play by Masudi, knocking that behind.
Just over 20 minutes left. Gerrard's corner for Liverpool. Peter Crouch with a second bite at it. Might come back to Crouch again. No real venom behind the header, though. An easy take for Nir Davidovic.
Yeah, he had the right angle, he had the right approach, he had the ball going in the right direction, but there was no speed on it.
Riese. Gerrard going forward more and more now. I suppose even if they want to draw 1-1, Liverpool would still think it's salvageable. They would still fancy their chances in the return leg, wherever that's to be played. But that would be a very disappointing first leg result. Home leg here at Anfield in Europe. The Liverpool players, Jamie Carragher amongst them, and manager Rafa Benitez, were correct in their assessment before a ball was kicked tonight. But Macabi Haifa were not to be underestimated.
No, they're certainly not, and I would say that no matter where the game is played, if this game does end 1-1, it'll be a much more defensive looking side that you will see from Maccabi Haifa. And they might be difficult to break down the way Liverpool are playing if they don't get the goal here.
Jermaine Pennant. Now it's Crouch. Masudi. That was clever play by Maccabi Haifa. Excellent passing.
They're not afraid to move themselves out of trouble. They're not afraid to pass it around. And some of the passes look really difficult to make, but they can make those difficult passes.
Comes off the head of Alon Harazi. The 35-year-old has recently handed a 2-year contract extension by President Yakov Shahar, club president of Maccabi Haifa. Jermaine Pennant. He's done there so well to get the cross in, and Davidovic. He was never going to be able to take that cleanly, but full credit to Davidovic.
And it didn't run far enough away from him to cause any problems. I mean, Crouch was up there.
Oh, relentless work from Steven Gerrard. 18 minutes left. 1 goal apiece. Pennant. Garcia. And Finnan's made the charge forward. Oh, that was careless. Coming off Sissoko.
You can see Liverpool really trying to pick the pace up here, Derek. They're playing with a lot more intensity now. Benitez may not be showing any emotion, but believe me, the emotion is there at this stage. He can't be happy.
Well, if it does finish 1-1, it's going to go down as one of the stories of the round, so to speak, of the first leg matches at least. As if you look at the list of games, you really are hard-pressed to come up with massive surprises. I suppose Salzburg 1, Valencia 0 would be the biggest surprise of the night, along with this one.
Yeah, they're certainly, when you look at the two big dogs. Liverpool have to be careful here that they don't give up another one.
Olara.
It's one thing about scoring, but give up another one here is a real disaster.
Well, we'll talk about it, as promised, on the weekend edition of ESPN SoccerNet Press Pass.
Just rare to get back to have a go at you, Swiss. He missed it.
Well, we enjoy having a little go at you occasionally too. Now it's Crouch. And it's Davidovic. Now Sissoko up to this left-hand side where Gerrard was waiting. It's come to Riese. It's a Liverpool throw. Robbie Fowler unavailable tonight because of injury. Robbie Fowler, who spent part of his summer watching the Open Golf Championship at Hoylake. Too far from here. Anderson receives the free kick. Brazilian, former Corinthians player.
That was stupid from Pennant's part there, just to foul him. There was no need to foul him at all there. I mean, every tick on the clock now becomes very precious for Maccabi Haifa.
Masudi just had it prodded away from him by Luis Garcia. And Xabi Alonso has space for Liverpool now. Finnan's gone forward. Jermaine Pennant trying to return the favour to Steve Finnan. But there's Olara with the challenge, and an excellent one it was from the Chilean.
And it had to be inside of the box like that. Finnan with a nice move. That was a good move by Liverpool.
Inside the final quarter of an hour. The fans have gone all quiet again. Not quite believing what they're seeing. Over it comes this time, and Crouch in the air. Well, how many times have we seen Peter Crouch net from that sort of range with that sort of header?
Good effort here. Good ball across to him. Crouch dives at it. Good power on it. The keeper's beaten. He just missed the target a little bit. Nice ball by Finnan. I'm not sure that Crouch didn't commit a foul as he went for that ball, but he got away with it.
He does sometimes, for me, Tommy, get away with a little bit too much in those situations, Peter Crouch. You think back to the goal he scored for England against Trinidad and Tobago at the World Cup finals. And it was pretty clear to me that he was grabbing the dreadlocks of Brent Sancho, the covering defender.
Well, you can't say he's throwing his weight around, that's for sure.
No.
But he does seem to get the calls. He does seem to, the referees seem to ignore what he does.
Now 1-1 the score here, and that's gone through for the goal kick. Dirceu was waiting just in case. Rarely is Anfield as quiet as this. Finnan for Liverpool. It's another good ball. Gerrard nodding it back. Luis Garcia has done awfully well. The Spaniard burrowing his way through. And he couldn't find Peter Crouch. Away by Anderson, the Brazilian. But that was down to the genius of Luis Garcia.
And it was there. If Crouch, all Crouch has to do is extend himself to get to it. Watch this. Doesn't really make much of an effort to get to it.
Gerrard with a corner. Crouch was there again. Sissoko. And Pennant trying to latch onto it, and oh, that's a free kick.
Dangerous play.
Anderson was the guilty party. Now, can Liverpool make this count? There's going to be a yellow card. And shown to Colauti for a little bit of back chat, I fancy.
Sets up a really good opportunity for Liverpool here. I thought there was a foul before that. Should be an indirect free kick, I thought, but it looks like he's given a direct free kick.
Well, Pennant and Gerrard survey the scene. Liverpool in need of a late goal here. Not a very cleverly prepared wall, and they've filled the gap in it now. For a second there was a gaping hole in that Maccabi Haifa wall. And it's going to be Jermaine Pennant and Davidovic. Oh, he managed to push it away. Out of the reach of the Liverpool strikers. Here's Xabi Alonso now. And the fans appealing for another free kick. It's not going to be given. And Liverpool know how dangerous Maccabi Haifa can be on the counter-attack. Sissoko denying Anderson any time on the ball, but that was fine goalkeeping from Nir Davidovic.
It certainly was, and he did a much better job this time. He did push the ball away. There were 2 Liverpool players in the area that could have gotten to it, Derek, but Davidovic did a good job of denying them.
Steven Gerrard. And Crouch was up there again, and that's really what I was talking about just a couple of minutes ago. He has been penalised, and I think rightly so.
Yeah, he does get away with a lot of fouls in this situation. Here's the situation with the keeper. Watch what he does with the ball. It takes a wicked deflection on the way in off the wall, and he does very well to get down to it. Watch the deflection here. Look at the deflecting off the wall. He's going one way, and then he just pushes it. That's the way a keeper's supposed to play it. Push it down along the byline. Even if somebody does get onto it, that it's deep enough that you're going to cause them problems. The last time he played it out in the middle of the box, and Bellamy latched onto it and put it on the back of the net. Foul throw. No excuse for something like that at this junction of the game. At any junction of the game, but you have possession and you give it away because of a foul throw.
Luis Garcia showing for it. Not doing very much with it.
What was that?
Carragher and Konaté. Nothing there. So German referee Wolfgang Stark. Sissoko. Now it's Riese. Finnan wasn't properly picked up. They're all sitting deep, the defenders. And what a chance. Oh, an appeal for a penalty. But Luis Garcia told to get back up onto his feet. And the German referee was well positioned there. Another player down. Now he's back up on his feet, Konaté. Well, very quickly back up onto his feet. And here's another chance. And it was the left back, Magrashvili, who found himself inside the Liverpool penalty area.
Well, there's all kind of attention being paid to the referee here. Luis Garcia inside of the box. Let's see. Makes a nice move. Makes another move. That's not a penalty kick. That's a good play. Dircho pushes the ball away from him. That's a good call by the referee because he made good contact with the ball. But there were 2 other challenges in midfield, Derek, that the referee should have taken a look at.
The minutes are ticking away at Anfield. Steven Gerrard. Oh, but it comes from Pennant, and Crouch trying to turn onto it.
Well, this time they went for the ball along the ground rather than the ball in the air.
Once again, this jinx afflicting Liverpool. The jinx I'm talking about, the home game, the home leg of the 3rd qualifying round of the Champions League. 2 years ago, they lost to Graz 1-0 at home. Last year, the match we covered here on ESPN, they lost 1-0 at home to CSKA Sofia. The work had been done away from home in advance of that, but it's a different story here. They're going to have to do all the work away from home in the second leg. And another look at that penalty shout, Tommy.
Yeah, there's a lot of contact inside of the box here, but he's never going to get a penalty kick in that situation.
Macabi Haifa with 7 minutes to go through Gustavo Boccoli. And eventually fouling the Brazilian. And we're going to see the first Macabi Haifa substitution.
I was beginning to wonder if he had any subs.
This is Maor Melikson will come on, young midfielder, the former Beitar Jerusalem player. Pennant has Magrashvili for company. He's played well back there, Magrashvili. Finnan to take the throw with 6 minutes left. Crouch trying to control it. It's away in the end by Rafael Olara. Low trajectory effort. Quinlan was there. Gerrard is there.
How often have we seen Gerrard come to the rescue with goals from just about that position? Appeals for a handball here, but there's been all kinds of appeals all night.
There's going to be a substitution for Liverpool as well. First of all, let me tell you that Yaniv Katan is the man who's going to be replaced by Major Mellickson.
Marc Gonzalez, it looks like, for Liverpool, is it?
Yes, Marc Gonzalez, the Chilean international, South African born. Well, come on, you and I watched a fair bit of him last season playing for Real Sociedad, and here's the surprise, it's Steven Gerrard who's going off.
I'm very surprised at that crowd acknowledging him. I mean, if he can play for 85 minutes, surely he can play for another 5. This man wasn't supposed to be able to play at all. I mean, this man, we had him listed as being injured. He's a calf injury.
Had work permit problems last season. That's really why he ended up at Real Sociedad. Previously with Albacete in Spain. I mentioned born in South Africa, but a Chilean international and a dazzling winger. He hasn't really caught the eye yet in the pre-season matches with Liverpool. And not even Peter Crouch can get to that one.
It's just wasted.
Rafa Benitez was saying the other day, just as regards Marc Gonzalez, that he thinks he's been trying a bit too hard, trying to make too much of an impression. And Anderson was there just to close off the space. Masoudi on the right from Macabi Haifa. 3.5 minutes to go plus stoppage time.
Macabi Haifa are so capable of playing that one-touch football very quickly. It's really cut Liverpool off balance in midfield, Derek.
And it's Risa who's writhing in agony. Challenge came in from the man from the Democratic Republic of Congo, Masoudi.
Very late. He was just going to play the ball and Risa pushed it away.
Over it comes, and they almost caught the Maccabi Haifa defenders by surprise. Nothing there for Xabi Alonso. Steve Finnan. Sami Hupia. Now Risa. Lack of dynamism for long periods of this first leg from Liverpool. It's Xabi Alonso this time. Gonzalez, the substitute. Sissoko. Oh, and Gonzalez trying to locate the ball, and he scores. He's only been on the park for a couple of minutes, but Marc Gonzalez has found the back of the net, and in all probability given Liverpool the lead going into the second leg. The only element of doubt was, could he properly locate the ball? Gonzalez did just that, and the Liverpool fans are at long last happy.
He's left wide open. Look at that. The two men went inside to cover Peter Crouch. That's one of the things that Peter Crouch does to the game. The right full goes in to cover him, and when he does that, Marc Gonzalez is left wide open, and it was a case of could the keeper get out quick enough, and Marc Gonzalez may have been trying too hard in pre-season, but he does very, very well here. He doesn't panic as the keeper bears down on him, and Liverpool, well, they're dodging one here, I think.
The goal coming with 88 minutes on the stopwatch. And that is going to be a Liverpool free kick. Marc Gonzalez, the Chilean international, has waited so long to make his competitive debut for Liverpool. He was hoping it would be last season because of the work permit problems. It couldn't be. That was a well-taken goal.
Very well taken goal, but it was made so much easier because the defender did try to close down Peter Crouch, thinking that Peter Crouch was going to be the danger.
Masudi is withdrawn now by Ronnie Levy. On comes Ayal Shumar. Will be 23 tomorrow. Reserve defender, newcomer to the side, used to play for Hapoel Kfar Saba.
That's the team you followed in your boyhood.
Here's Jermaine Pennant. Oh, that was a wonderful ball. Excellent ball by Jermaine Pennant. Handed away by Harazi.
I've been very impressed with Pennant tonight. His play selection has been very good, Derek. He's capable of delivering that ball across right into the middle. He's done a good job of it.
Added time, 3 minutes.
You probably heard it over the tannoy. 3 minutes of time to be added on here at Anfield. Anderson. And the Pennant doing a spot of defending. And for Benitez with Alec Miller, first team coach, alongside him. Gustavo Boccoli for Maccabi Haifa. Oh, and here's a chance. Oh, it was a great chance for Kalauti in stoppage time. And Pepe Reina, who's had so little to do, earns his corn with that one save. But what an opportunity it was.
Brilliantly worked out, and a great save by Reina. Watch the movement inside. Great effort, and Reina just sticks out that left foot. He just got a foot to it, Derek.
Instinctive save by Pepe Reina to foil Roberto Colauti.
That would have been sensational.
But at 2-1, it's still alive going into the return leg. Maccabi Haifa might just have settled for that if you'd had the power to offer it to them before the ball was kicked. Now Pennant, and Davidovic is reaching for it, but is happy to let Kenan get there first. The front Liverpool goal would certainly ease their worries considerably. Looking ahead to the return leg, Gonzalez, scorer of the second tonight. But also important second it could be. Kenny Carragher, who's now wearing the captain's armband. What with Steven Gerrard having been replaced. And who would have thought a substitution like that would come up trumps so swiftly? Marc Gonzalez for, of all people, Steven Gerrard. And lo and behold, Gonzalez is there to score goal number 2, and a well-taken goal at that. Well, who knows where that second leg is going to be played. I mentioned that Kiev is amongst the favourites. Larnaca has also been mentioned. It won't be in Israel. Momo Sissoko misses the chance.
He could have wrapped it up that it wouldn't matter where it was played. That was the opportunity right there. Good running by Sissoko. He controls the ball. He never got himself into the position where he could really get the shot off, and it did take a bit of the deflection on the way in.
Last chance here for Liverpool, surely, to add to their tally. Gonzalez. And again to Pennant. Gonzalez. Well, part one is over. Part one of this UEFA Champions League third qualifying round tie. And it wasn't comfortable at any stage of the game for Liverpool. But thanks to this man, Marc Gonzalez, who came off the bench in the dying stages of the game, they have a lead to carry with them into the second leg against the plucky Israeli champions, Maccabi Haifa. Liverpool 2, Maccabi Haifa 1.
Yeah, it was a good performance by Maccabi Haifa, and Gonzalez was the difference here. And it was one of those plays that could have gone anyway. The keeper had gotten out a step in time. It wouldn't have been in the back of the net, but they're still in the game.
Gonzalez coming on for Steven Gerrard. Earlier, Craig Bellamy had equalised for Liverpool to cancel out the earlier goal by Gustavo Boccoli. So Bellamy and Gonzalez making their competitive debuts for their new clubs, finding the back of the net, and those goals could be oh so important in the context of the tie as a whole. My thanks to Tommy. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For all your football news, ESPNsoccernet.com. Good night from Anfield.